I think we lost you again, AT. Shalom, Felipe. Good to hear you, friend. And Charles, Sir Charles is here also.
Hello, hello. Nice to hear you, my friend. I can't see the it is mic. I can't hear.
Yes, me neither.
From the phone at the moment. Fernando, can you hear us? We're trying a new way. Can you hear us? Charles, if you hear us, please give us a sign. Fernando, if you hear us, please give us a sign by writing or speaking if you hear us.
Shalom, Eti.
Shalom, shalom. I can hear you finally.
Shalom.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Charles.
How are you?
Fine, I can hear you very well. There is like obstacles this morning or this afternoon, but I hope we can overcome all of this.
Yeah.
You can. Very good. I'll try to make it better. 1 second. Who else can hear? Charles, you are the only one who can hear?
Yeah. I don't know if Fernando, Felipe.
Yes, we shall try. We shall try. 1 second. Fernando, Felipe, can you hear Charles? Can you hear someone?
I think it's frozen over there.
Here, Felipe has a request to speak. Another guest I see is coming. I hope you can hear us. So if you have or had the time to log in or to look into the concept board, do you see like the text? Do you see the zodiac that I posted, two kinds of zodiacs and one text? And I just wanted to connect to Fernando's question yesterday about the months of Shvat. There is a new moon, and the new moon is a new month basically, and the Hebrew name of the month is Shvat. And for this celebration of this month, I would like to read with you a text, a biblical text that connects us to Fernando's question and to what we see here on the whiteboard. So, who is volunteering to read the text? It's from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, 8 verses. Who is volunteering, please, to read the text? In English. Can you hear us? Yes?
Yes, I can try it.
Yes.
One moment. Deuteronomy chapter 1. These are the words which Moses spoke unto all Israel beyond the Jordan, in the wilderness, in the Arabah, over against Suf, between Paran and Tophel and Laban, and Hazerot, and Dizahab. It is 11 days' journey from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea, by the way of the Mount Seir. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spoke unto the children of Israel, according unto all that the Lord had given him in commandment unto them. After he had smitten Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, who dwelt in Ashtaroth at Edrei, beyond the Jordan, in the land of Moab, took Moses upon him to expound this law, saying, The Lord our God, spoke unto us in Horeb, saying, Ye have dwelt long enough in this mountain. Turn you and take your journey and go to the hill country of the Amorites, and unto all the places nigh thereunto, in the Arabah, in the hill country, and in the lowland, and in the south, and by the seashore, and the land of the Canaanites and Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give unto them and to their seed after them.
Thank you so much for reading the text, Felipe. Thank you so much. And if we look again into verse 3, again, I would like us to focus now in verse 3. I'll take a color. I hope we can see. I will make it like bright. In which months, in the 40th year of their wandering in the desert, in which months Moses is how do you say, explaining them the Torah. In which months?
11th month.
I cannot hear. We have a friend in class. Can you please mention your name?
Yes, shalom. My name is Lindsay.
Yes, shalom, Lindsay. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to hear you. May I ask where are you from?
Yes, I'm from US, Georgia.
Thank you, Georgia. That's nice. That's nice. Thank you so much. So this is the 11th month that Moses is explaining the Torah, explaining and clarifying the Torah. I would like us to look at the Hebrew term Ashtei Asar. Ashtei Asar, it's like 12 minus 1. 12 minus 1, this is 11. And I would like us to look here, and 1 second, I'll move everything. Here we have a stamp of the zodiac. Israel are counting from spring. Here we have areas on top. This is 12 o'clock high. This is one perspective. There are many ways to look into the zodiac. This is one way, and I would like us to see the biblical perspective. This is spring here, north hemisphere. This is areas, and we are counting. Yes, Fernando, would you like to say something? The counting is from here. We are counting. This is the first month according to the Bible. This is spring, north hemisphere perspective. And Taurus, May, so to speak, is the second. And June, Sivan, is the third. This is the fourth month, July. August is the fifth month. I now count as the solar counting. Virgo is the sixth month. Yes, Elul. And here we have Libra is the seventh month. This is Rosh Hashanah. 8, this is Scorpion. Cheshvan, November. And here we have, what do you call it? Stagirus, I think. This is the man on a horse or the archer. This is the 9th month. This is here, Gdi. This is the 10th, Capricorn, the 10th month. And here we have the 11th month. The 11th month from spring. This is Shvat. And the sign of this month is Aquarius, a person who pours the water and nourish and waters everyone, humans and animals, with water. I just opened this text to show you the relevance of the Hebrew counting. Is it clear so far? Do you connect between the biblical text, the 11th month, the zodiac? Yes? Is it clear?
Yes,
Good,
perfect.
good. Now, another thing that I would like to discuss with you is, I will move again to the biblical text, but you are really free to ask any question that you like. Please, if something comes to you because you are exposed, those who have the connection to the whiteboard are exposed to more information than people on YouTube. If you want to ask about something, please feel free. This is a nonlinear thinking, and I would like to introduce to you a new kind of thinking. In verse 2, it says, It is 11 days journeys from Horeb. We have 11th day journey from Horeb. This is 11th, and this is 11th month. Look what I do. I do 11, double 11, or 11 in the power of 2, because this is a nonlinear thinking. 11 yom מחורב, 11 days from Horeb, and Moshe is translating, explaining the Torah in the 11th month. So what do we do? 11, double 11, or 11 in the power of 2. This is 121. The value of what? Nineveh. Nineveh. Does the word Nineveh remind you of something? The name, yes,
The story of Jonah.
the story of Jonah. Excellent. Another perspective that I would like to share with you is, yesterday we were speaking about the goldsmith, Tzoref, a person who can make combination and read the Torah and create. While reading the Torah, he can create. Please pay attention about Moses. Here, I'm looking for Ho'il Moshe Be'eret HaTorah. 1 second. Here in the 5th verse, please pay attention. Moses is having the grace to translate the Torah, to explain. 1 second, I'm moving here. I would like you to see both the English and the Hebrew. Moses spoke, expound the law, Ho'il Moshe. The Hebrew word Ho'il, if we write the verb Ho'il in Hebrew and we create a new order, please pay attention. Ho'il. What happens if we rearrange the letter? Which name do we get?
Elohim.
You're close, okay, but here we don't have mem, but you're close. You're close. Yes, you're close. It's a name. It's a name of a prophet. Please rearrange the verb, the letters of this verb, Ho'il, which has
Eliyahu.
the great Eliyahu.
Yes, okay.
Eliyahu. So if we take the order Ho'il Moshe, Moses has the grace to translate or to explain the Torah. And we now, as Fernando say, we can read it as Eliyahu. So what do we get from this? Ho'il Moshe, Moses had a grace to special grace to explain the Torah for Israel, or who is Moses basically according to this kind of reading? Who is the one who explains the Torah according to this kind of goldsmith reading?
Eliyahu. It's
Eliyahu.
a prophet. It's Eliyahu.
The prophet Eliyahu. This is it. Yes, Fernando?
It's 2 times tetragrammaton, right? It's the manifestation in the binary.
Excellent. 2 times the tetragrammaton, which is 52. The sun perspective, Ben, sun, or 52 weeks that we have in a solar year. Or why Ho'il Moshe, Moses has this grace to what? To translate the Torah that it will fit the times of people are living in. This is why Ho'il Moshe, Moses, has the grace to translate the Torah that will fit the time. And this is not by nothing that I wrote this here 11, double 11, because this is Nineveh. If we have like a square of 11, I will not do it now, but imagine that we have this. This is 121, or Nineveh. Why does need to explain the Torah because in a way people are far from the root. 11, double 11, people are far from the root, like people of Nineveh. This is why the people of Nineveh need Jonah, like the people in Egypt need Joseph. And Weinreb speaks about the parallel between Jonah and Joseph. Jonah in Nineveh is like Joseph in Egypt. So this is the opening to these conversations. If you have perspectives, if you have questions, please go ahead, ask.
Just to this number 121 makes me think about the that the Torah is coming from unity, reaching duality, and returning to unity. Like
Excellent, excellent, excellent. I would like to transform what you say into letters. One way to read it, very excellent, Felipe. It's like to write the word father in Hebrew, and I will explain. 1, 2, and 1. Yes? This is 1 is Aleph, 2 is Bet. I'll make it better. Yes? And in 1, we have Abba. This is father. To go back to the origin. Another perspective, very good, Felipe, is the word to read. Please pay attention. To read or to call. In Hebrew, it's the same origin. Kara is to read or to call. Kof is 100, but we can take it as 1. Resh is 200. We can take it as 2. And Aleph is 1, so we take it as 1. This is what the first verse of Jonah, first of the second, call to the people of Nineveh. Kra el Nineveh. This is what God asked Jonah in the first chapter. Call. Why to call? Because they are far, far, far behind. Very good. Questions? Perspectives?
Yes, Etty.
Yes, Charles.
I just wanted to find out about this word, Ashtei Asar.
Yes. What?
Why? Because I know Levin is Echad Asar.
Yes.
But here you on the second concerning the month is saying Ashtei Asar, but on the top in verse 2 it's saying Echad Asar. What's the difference?
Excellent. Very good. Ashtei Asar. Ashtei Asar. This is in Aramaic. Asar is 10. And here we have like a bit, how do you call it? A space like this. Shtei is 2. So in a way, it's supposed to be the 12th month. Please pay attention. But when the Ain appears in front of the Shin, the Ain, like the eye, also, we minus here 1. So what do we have? 10 plus 2, this is 12, minus, this is the 11. Very good that you noticed the difference between Achad Asar, because verse before we have, it's very good that you notice this linguistically. Okay, here. So here, I will mark it in another color, maybe red, that everybody will see in verse 2. The number 11 appears as Achad Asar. Achad is 1, Asar is 10. 1 and 10, 11. But in the third verse, we have a new way to count, like, so to speak, Aramic, Ashtei Asar. This is the 12th month minus 1. Very good, very good. Questions?
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes.
I just wanted to bring out with the square. If you add the numbers 121, you get 4, and you got 4 sides of the square.
Again.
Yes, if you go to the square and it says it equals 121, if you add 1 plus 2 plus 1, you get 4. 4 sides
Yes,
of the square.
excellent. This is the matter. Very good. You say 1 plus 1 plus, let's write it as you mentioned in the order. 1 plus 2 plus 1. It means we are in a 4, in a matter, and this is why there's a need to call. This is why God says to Jonah, call to the people of Nineveh. Kra aleha. Kra, I can bring the verse. Are you interested that I'll bring the verse? If you are, yes, because I brought you perspective about different zodiacs, and I would like to share them with you one by one. 1 second. Ukra aleha. 1 second. Jonah 1 verse 2. 1 second. One second. Got another one. I'm looking for it. 1 second. Jonah. I don't have it at the moment. I'll try to bring the 1 second. Fernando, do you have an access? Someone has an access. It doesn't work for me at the moment. I'm trying. 1 second.
Which chapter, Eti?
Chapter 1, verse 2. At the moment, I don't have a connection, so I'm trying again.
I can bring it.
Thank you.
It has to be a print, right?
Yeah, 1 second. I think I found it. Thank you for your kind help. Here it is. Here the verse. Here is the verse. Thank you. Who would like to read it?
I could read it.
Thank you.
Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and proclaim against it, for their wickedness is come up before me.
Thank you so much. And here is the verb. It's to call, proclaim. The English Bible says proclaim. But here we see the word kara, call, kara, kara, here, kof, resh, aleph, to call, to read, to call them to repent. So here we have, this is 100, that becomes 1. Here we have 200, that becomes 2. And here we have aleph, which remains 1. So in a way, we see that the value of Nineveh, it fits mathematically. why does the Bible use the verb to call? We can see that already the word call mathematically or proclaim, kara, is 121, and Nineveh is the equal. Questions? There is a question here, I see. Lindsay says on YouTube she lost her mic. 1 second. Sorry, Lindsay. Yes, Lindsay, your mic is open. I just would like us to look. I brought another perspective of the zodiac. This is from, again, handwritten book about here between the 8th century to the 11th century. This is a very interesting perspective, a bit different from the Hebrew perspective. What sign is at the top? If you can see this in this ancient zodiac from the 11th century, between, let's say, 8th and 11th century, which sign do you recognize as at the top here at 0? Which sign do you recognize here?
I don't know in English. I guess it's crab.
It's crab. It's crab. Yes, it's crab. And it appears like when it's a high noon. Yes, at the top, so to speak, at the top. I call it here 12 o'clock high or 0, it depends. This, from this perspective, North Hemisphere, the 21st of June is the highest or the longest day in the North Hemisphere perspective. So do you see this kind of zodiac is taking this perspective? When the lowest point here is where the number 6 in the clock is the Capricorn. This is deep winter, North Hemisphere perspective, deep winter. And here is again Aries, and this is spring, and this is fall. The interesting thing is that Tale, spring, Tale in Hebrew, is in the east, so to speak, or at 144, Kedem. Kedem or Adam. This is this perspective of the zodiac. And this is the liberty. Or the tree of life is in the spring. Tree of life always is spring. Questions or impressions that you have? Is it too much to see the verse, the biblical verse from different perspectives? Is it too much, or how do you feel with it?
It's excellent, Eddie. And I have a question about what you said about Aquarius.
Yes.
In the beginning of the conversation, you said that we can relate the 11th month with when people are far away, they need to listen to the words of Torah, someone to teach like Moses, and now we are in this new moon of Aquarius,
Yes.
and also we have a lot of ideas around the Aquarius age as well. If you could say, what does it mean, what Aquarius represents, and this energy, I don't know.
Yes. I just want to bring prepared for us a part of the mosaic of the zodiac. I hope that I have it here. I would like us to look at it and to bring it. Where is it? And just this is it, I believe. 1 second. Yes, I would like us to have now another perspective because you asked about it. I prepared. I'm going to jump here another mosaic. There is a Byzantine mosaic of the zodiac in the city of Tiberias, next to the Lake of Galilee, in the north of Israel. And this is one detail here from the zodiac. I make it bigger. I try to pull the corner that everybody would be able. Second, and make it bigger. This is one detail from the zodiac. Once I showed us the corner of winter, Tkufat Tevet, the winter time, North Hemisphere perspective. We can see here in a way the Aquarius or the waterman, they call it. We see here, this is a child in a way, and this is a water or a can of liquids, and he in a way pours the water here. And the waters are being poured until we have here even a wave, like waves from a lot of water, like abundance, how do you say, a lot of water, shefa mayim, abundance, how do you say, a lot of water here, we have waves. The interesting part here is the Hebrew letters here, because if it's a mistake or not, this is another option of the goldsmith. Waterman or Aquarius, we say it's not waterman, but it's basically Aquarius is the bucket. And in Hebrew, we say bucket, dili. This is a bucket of place that we can store water. But, and here the person or the artist already made something very interesting. He wrote the word dli, bucket, in a mirror writing, like this, like children write sometimes. How did he do it? Here. He wrote it like this, like if there was a mirror. He wrote it from left to right. Dalet's supposed to be on the right. He wrote it on the left. So basically, if I copy the mirror writing, it means Yeled. So whether he noticed this or not, there is an option to read the sign Aquarius in Hebrew, Dli is Yeled, and there is infinite child in each and every one of us, which is curious and looks at life as wonder. And this is why usually Aquarius is considered to be the sign of inventions and new ideas, people who can see very far into the future. I hope that I answer your question, Fernando.
Yes, it's beautiful. I thank you.
Another way, you're welcome. Another way to look at it is through Pythagoras triangle 3, 4, and 5. When 3 is the father or the spirit, and 4 is the mother or the matter. Please pay attention, it's the same. And here is the child or Yeled in Hebrew, Yeled. Yes, and we can look at the sign of Aquarius or the month of Shvat, in a way has the full hand perspective. The 4 fingers, the manifestation plus the potential. The child always holds the potential. This is why people sometimes very eager to give birth to many children, because through this child there is an option to have an access to the potential.
Now,
Yes.
something interesting is the that this sign Aquarius, and we have the symbols. I guess I can manage to see 3 symbols: the child, or the human, the vessel, and the water being poured. And it is interesting because you mentioned potential, and it's like when we have when we make energy by pouring water, in this, how do I say it? So just one second.
Generating energy by pouring
Yes.
water, you mean?
Yes. And you need difference of potentials. You need like a waterfall. You have a higher place and a lower place, and the movement, the power is brought by this distance, and it's beautiful to think about the child, the Yeled, being the the child possesses this great potential.
Here is the child. I'll try to make it with colors, what you say. I'll try to bring it with colors. Here's the Pythagoras triangle. So here's the child. This is the 5. Yes. This is the 3, the father. And here we have the matter and water. Please pay attention. The relation of mother. I write it with A, but it's supposed to be with O. I'm fixing it. Mother. Please pay attention that the M in a mirror writing from up down is becoming W. Yes, and we have water. Here is the father of the spirit. This is also Ama, a cubit. This is a spiritual cubit. The mother of the water and the child.
Because if you have a vessel full of water, it doesn't generate power and energy. You have to drop it. You have to pour.
To opposite. So we have to opposite what gives us the power to oppose the spirit, the father. You see? To opposite it.
Can I say something?
Yes, Lindsay.
Okay, so I was looking at the Hebrew letters that are found in the drawing or the painting, and I realized if you take it back to a pictographic Hebrew meaning, you can look at the yod, and that means like right hand, a good work, moving his hand. And then if you go to lamed, it's like control. And then if you go to dalet, it's like pathway or door or hang. So it's really deeper, if you look at it that way too.
Yes, it is true. It is true. The yod, the letter yod is like a yad. That's a hand. Yes, the lamed is a very high letter. This is the only letter in the Hebrew alphabet that is written above the line. This is the most spirited one. This is the letter that, in a way, symbolizes the movement of the spirit in us. So we have a hand, yod, yad, and then we have the spirit, the tower, the infinite tower that teaches. And then we have the dalet, the door through the dalet. Yes.
Anity,
Question? Yes.
I have one. Also, if we get the gematria of Dli,
Yes.
I think it's 44.
Yes.
And Felipe made a beautiful analogy here, saying that to make energy, it's important to make the flow of energy. It's not possible to maintain it still, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the all the horoscope, it's double. We have a good, let's say, a good interpretation or a bad interpretation, a good energy or a bad energy from that aspect. And I was thinking that 44 is blood,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
It's the manifestation of blood, because when we try to hold the energy only for us, maybe, and
Yes.
not to,
Yes. Very good. Very good.
if you could
Static.
open a little more. Yes.
Yes. Blood. Blood is 44 as well. You mean that every term has like positive aspect and negative aspect. This is duality. So static of the 44 is like blood. Like people always care about their blood related people. This is static. But the value which is non-static for the 44 is a child or a bucket or Aquarius, which is a movement. Because in Aquarius we have a movement and also children. Why people like children so much? Because child in a way reflects the movement and the progress in life. So a bad aspect or a negative aspect is the blood. People are just care about blood and relatives and want to maintain power, statica. It's also related to Saturn, the star Saturn. There's so much to say about it, but we have now only one unit. And the other phase of the 44 is the bucket or the child that has an access to the potential, to the movement, to generate spirit, to generate movement, to be able to capture ideas and to transmit them to humanity. Yes.
That's beautiful, because we always talk about the vessel that it's necessary to contain light and ideas and so on. But this aspect of the Aquarius is it's serving. It's like giving to humanity this light that was captured in this proper vessel.
Yes, that's correct. And another one word before we seal this conversation. Lindsay says, I see that Lindsay says, 5 plus 4 plus 3 equal 12. Yes, it's all, yes, through one word, and that how Moses is explaining the Torah, or the word is here. That I would like to give us something to think of. In verse 5, הואיל משה באר את התורה, explaining the Torah here. What the English says, expound the Torah. Be'er is to explain, but be'er is not just to explain. Be'er is not just a verb. This is also a noun. Well. And a well also what? The well what is containing what? Water. Do you see here in this way, the Torah is like is being seen as a source of water, as a source of life, either here in the verse as not just like to explain, but if we read the word as a noun, is also a well. And from well, we need again the bucket and to rise up the water again, like what Felipe was mentioning, the opposite movement here. In a way, the water in the well are somewhere in the deep, and we have to send here a bucket to make an opposite movement, to rise up the water in the well. So here we see like different movements. In the zodiac or in the mosaic, we saw the child is pouring the water, and here in this verse, Ba'er Moshe et Torah, explaining, expound, but also pulling up the water. Because the Torah in this verse is so deep that we need, like Moses or Elijah, to lift up the water because this is so deep. So you see like two opposite perspectives, like Fernando was referring to, opposite perspectives of water.
Also with the water in the well, the 11th Hebrew letter. Well, I was thinking about Joseph, how he was the
Yes,
11th son and he fell down the
excellent,
well.
excellent. Joseph is the 11th son. Chronologically, he is the 11th son of Jacob. 11th, and elevate, to elevate the water. Again, 11, elevate the water. Here we are in the center of town. So we had many obstacles, but I think it's a great conversation.
Eddie?
So, yes, Charles.
What did I want to say? So what's the relation between Shevet tribe and the month of Shevat?
Yes, it's a great question, and tomorrow I will open a class about it. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much for your question. So thank you all for coming today. It was a marvelous conversation with you. I hope we managed to float or to lift a few perspectives for our mind to deal with until tomorrow. And I hope we shall have a day without obstacles. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Shalom.
Eti. Thank you, friends.
Shalom,
Shalom.
shalom.
Shalom.